This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. This is my review of South Africa versus Ireland. So the sides seem to pick up where they left off in the World Cup last year, and 100 miles an hour, huge collisions straight off the bat. It's like they've never stopped playing since that group match game in the World Cup. But some nice variation from Pollard. Puts it out to the wings, and beautiful hands then from South Africa, and they spread the ball, which they did all game actually. They played really nice attacking rugby, and it gets out to Arendse, who skins the fullback Osborne, who had a good take to start off his debut at 15. But South Africa take the lead 7-0 with about 2 minutes gone. And dynamic, exciting stuff. Ireland are forcing South Africa to concede a few penalties though, and ultimately they do get one within range, and Crowley slots it. So 7-3 now. So the intensity of the game is summed up by a collision between Kolisi and Henshaw. Kolisi absolutely just smashes into him. Henshaw tries to take him high. It seems like there's not a head contact either, but he just gets absolutely clattered, and he takes a breath, gets up. He's a tough guy, but that just sums up the game so far for me. Every collision, every contact is a battle, and these two sides are going at each other 100%. Again, when South Africa do get the ball, they are putting it through the hands really nicely, and they're looking very dangerous. Ireland managed to defend well, nice scramble, but they concede a penalty, and Pollard slots it over, and it's 10-3 now. I have to wonder at this point, the way these two teams are going at each other. I know traditionally that New Zealand has been South Africa's biggest rival, but I know we have the Rugby Championships coming up soon. But I don't know, this kind of rivalry they've developed with Ireland, the number one and number two sides in the world, seems to have taken center stage over the last couple of seasons. I don't know, if you're a South African fan, let me know what you think. Are New Zealand still your biggest rivals? Or I get the sense now that this thing with Ireland and the way this match played out and the previous few matches have, there's a real rivalry growing between these two sides, and they always bring the best out of each other. This is the number one and number two teams playing against each other, and it really showed. Having watched New Zealand against England prior to this, they were just levels above that, and like I say, let me know what you think. Casey, who is in for the injured Jameson Gibson Park, is having a very good run, and I thought he played excellently in the first half, getting Ireland quick ball, and Ireland are going through the phases, but that that problem that they've had, all of the Irish teams really, is unlocking the defense. Just that killer instinct, that killer blow, and converting the pressure into points. And South Africa managed to hold out Ireland's attack. Pieter-Steph du Toit has a nice little run on the wing, and South Africa used their loose forwards very well out wide. And I heard the commentator say a go-go gadget pass from Steph du Toit as he tosses it over. And I was just wondering then, do they have Inspector Gadget in South Africa? I know I shouldn't be thinking about that while watching this game, but another question for the South Africans, is Inspector Gadget a big thing in South Africa? Ireland stay on the attack, and eventually Casey, he's really getting the ball out quickly. He puts some slick hands through and gets out to Low on the wing, who actually does some magic and slips it inside to Osborne, gets over the try. But I'm just thinking, this is what it takes to break down this South African defense. It's so solid. It actually takes literal magic to unlock their defense. and Ireland get a try, and you got to say it's pretty well deserved at this point. So they're back in the match, and it's 13-8. Porter concedes a kind of soft penalty to give South Africa an opportunity to further extend their lead. And that's one of his weaknesses. I think he's a fantastic player, extremely strong in the scrum, which was an epic battle, by the way, all through the game. You could just do a video just on the scrum. But uncharacteristically, Pollard missed it. It stays 13-8. So at half time, you got to say it's been pretty breathless. Just like I said, reminds me so much of the previous encounters between these two sides, and it's like they never stop playing. As soon as they hit, they see the jersey, the opposition jersey, they just snap back into it. And breathless, intense, tempo is crazy off the charts, particularly at altitude. I thought Casey played really well in the first half, and from my perspective, I actually thought they would or should go with Murray, because I had my doubts about Casey, but he proved me wrong, hands down. Beautiful attacking shape from South Africa. They really looked nice going forward, and putting the ball through hands, making the ball work, and really nice. Ireland's scrum, very, very strong. If anything, they had the better of the first half. But then you have the looming bench of the South Africans. That's going to play a part at some point, and how are Ireland going to deal with it? You have a couple of substitutions for Ireland. Kelleher on at the hooker and Ringrose outside centre. Didn't make that much of an impact. All South Africa for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and Omani does like a crazy diving pass. And the receiver, I forget who it was, just pick it up off his toenails, but the Ireland do clear, but ultimately they cough up a penalty, but Pollard misses again, so a definite let off for Ireland early on in the second half. Then we do get the bench moment, and again it made me chuckle. The referee, when he's announcing the subs, he goes, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Off and changed. And talk about psychological warfare. That's gotta have an impact on you. I mean, I've played a bit in my time, but to know that you're up against an entirely new and fresh pack, that's gotta make you dig down deep. I think Ireland did, in fairness to them. I mean, they still looked up for it, but that's a huge ask for them. And Razzie, again, he knows what he's doing, and I think he played his cards nicely. Ireland definitely take up the challenge though, and they're flying into the tackles. Absolutely 100% commitment from them, and they eventually do get a nice turnover, and Casey, again, great on the spot option taking. He goes blind, finds Low does a little goose step, a little onesie, a little twosie, and beats the defenders and gets over in the corner for what I thought was a fantastic try. But who asked him to speak? The TMO calls it back. Nobody asked you, bro. Keep your mouth shut. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I did watch the replay. Apparently there was a foot or something involved in the turnover. It might have been, I couldn't see it, to be honest, and it was marginal, no? But anyway, it's pulled back, and the try is disallowed, and I thought it was a really nice try as well, so I was very disappointed. I think South Africa actually get a penalty shot at goal from that, and they miss it. So I think Pollard intentionally missed it because they didn't really deserve that one. But score remains the same. After that disappointment, Casey again is to the forefront and gets a brilliant 50-22 and sums up his performance really. And just as I'm thinking he's going to have man of the match, he gets something happens to him. Again, I didn't see that. I think RG is involved in it. He must have fallen awkwardly or something. I didn't actually see what happened. And he gets stretchered off. So if you're a player, you don't want my man of the match vote, because soon after you're going to get stretchered off, which was really disappointing. I thought he really rose to the occasion. He had his doubters, and I think he proved everyone wrong. And it was a shame for him to go off like that. But hopefully he's okay. He gave him the thumbs up as he was being stretched off. So, fair play to the young man. He performed really well, I think, today or yesterday, and he should be very proud of himself. After that, Pollard puts in a speculative kick, trying to get a bit of territory. Low again with his fancy footwork, he manages to keep the ball in, which is awesome. Unfortunately, Colby is there to pick it up, or at least kick it on, and scoops it up, and it's try time. So a bit of a balls up really from Low. Just let it go out, brother. But yeah, South Africa take their opportunities when they're available, and now it's 20 points to 8, so quite a big lead. Ireland don't give up though, and they throw everything again at the South Africans, and they were pretty unrelenting. Most sides would have already capitulated, but not Ireland. Doris is held up over the line. The referee doesn't give it, and that was fair enough, I think. And but he does have a word with Doris about back chat, and they're a bit chatty to the ref. They all, it's Ireland's way, right? But Ireland do cut through the South African defense. And where has this been all game? They just go right through the middle, and beautiful lines, beautiful hands, which is what we expect from Ireland. And Murray, who's on for Casey, gets a try under the posts, under the sticks, and it's 20-15 now. So there's a few minutes left, so anything can happen at this point. So another mistake, and South Africa given scrum, attacking scrum, they get destroyed, pulverized, annihilated, and a penalty try is awarded, plus a yellow card, and it's donezo at this point. It's 27-15, and you think, it's over. Ireland do fire straight back actually, and Baird scoops it up and goes over in the corner to make it more respectable, 27-20. But ultimately, South Africa led all through the match. And I think they were deserved winners. Again, beautiful shapes going forward. I think both teams' defenses were phenomenal, very ferocious. Some errors on both sides, but under this kind of intense pressure, that's what you kind of come to expect. Kickers missed a few kicks. The game could have played out a little bit differently in terms of scoreboard pressure, which I think is always an underrated aspect, kind of influence on a game. Ireland definitely missed out on that, and so did South Africa really. Pollard, I'm not sure what is up with his kicking tee, but you want to get it right for the next test. It was just a very enjoyable game again. These two sides always produce the goods. They can both be, I think, very happy with their performance. And again, the rugby public thanks them. It's just nice to watch games played at this high level, this intensity, this skill level, that kind of pace. And I'm glad players like Casey and the guys who were on there who haven't played for a while, I'm glad they all kind of did well. So thank you for watching the review. Sorry for going on, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye.